Hey guys, welcome to our class today. My name's Amanda, if we haven't met yet. I'm going to be taking you guys through a Yin class that's all about heart openers. So I just did a bunch of Yin training and I'm super excited to share this with you guys. So in Yin, we're going to be holding poses for quite a while. So generally each pose is held for 1 to 3 minutes. We're gonna need props. So I've got a couple pillows here and a couple blocks. You could have blankets, whatever is going to help make you feel supported. That's really important in our class today. So get comfortable, get all your stuff that you need, put on some warmer clothes because we tend to get a bit cooler in this class, and then we'll get started. So we'll start our first pose in child's pose. So grab a hold of your pillows and place the pillows just right by your knees. And in our child's pose, our knees will be about mat width apart and we'll be seated backwards towards the heels while our arms are reaching out in front of us. So that'll allow you to just rest your chest on the pillows. So you can use 2 pillows here, make sure you feel nice and comfortable. And there's always the option to place a block or another pillow just on top of the heels so that you feel a little more supported with your hips. So find yourself feeling really comfortable here. Take any effort out of this pose. So in our Yin practice, we will be holding these poses for about 3 minutes in this class today. So by knowing that, we want to just make sure we're not coming to a point where we're really already feeling a lot of strain in the body. We want to be at a point where we know we can hold this pose for quite a while. So we also refer to this as our edge in Yin. So our edge is basically somewhere we can feel relaxed, but where we are also feeling sensation. So we don't want to be feeling any pain or tension, numbness, anything like that. We do want to feel a little bit of discomfort, but definitely no pain. So this might be a point in this pose where you choose to turn your head to the other side so that your opposite cheek is lying down, just to help keep balance in the body. And maybe you've found you can actually go a little bit deeper into this pose. So if you do need to make a little adjustment, that is totally okay. It is more about understanding why you're making any movements. So if we are moving just because we are bored or distracted, that's one thing. But if we are moving because we want to take this pose a little bit deeper, that's totally okay to do so. So by keeping the body quite still in this practice, this really helps to allow us to hit these connective tissues that are really deep within the body and allow a little bit more mobility into our fascia, which is this really deep tissue. So this stillness in the body really helps to also create a nice stillness and calming effect on the mind. Now, very slowly, we're going to start to release from this pose. So really take your time. You can move your pillows off to the side. And we'll slowly make our way to a tabletop position whenever you're ready. From our tabletop, let's start to do some cat-cow movements. So this will help to keep the spine feeling a little more balanced and mobile, adding a little bit of movement to the body after that nice long hold. Now, whenever your body feels complete, we'll start to set up for our next pose, which is called melting heart pose. So again, you could use pillows in this pose. Basically, it's similar to a child's pose, but we'll keep our hips directly above the knees, and we're reaching our arms forward, and our forehead may or may not come down to the mat. So again, feel free to set up a couple pillows under your forearms. Your head could rest on the pillows. Again, just make sure that you feel supported. Allow your chest to really start to drop towards the floor. So this is quite a deep shoulder, chest, heart opener. Again, make sure you're not feeling any pinching or pain at all in through the shoulders. You can also take your arms out a little wider if that feels a bit more comfortable for your shoulders. That's always an option. As you're resting in this pose, notice what is coming up for you. Notice what sensations, what feelings, emotions are starting to come up. Can you find peace with these emotions and acceptance with these emotions? Allow your heart to soften and allow these emotions in. Allow them to be with you. When we resist emotions and feelings, that's actually when they can stay with us for longer. And it actually does cause more suffering in the body. And then on the flip side of that, with our emotions that are more positive, like joy and excitement, can you allow those emotions as well to just move through you without clinging to them? The Guest House by Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whatever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Now you can start to slowly take your arms back, coming out of this pose. You could move the pillows, and we'll come to a version of child's pose with our knees together and our body laying on top of our legs with our arms back. So this is going to help create a really nice rounded spine. Take full breaths into your back body. Allow the ribs to expand. Let's take a few more deep breaths here, and then we'll slowly start to make our way back up. From here, let's move ourselves all the way down to our bellies. So our next pose is a shoulder stretch. It's also called half airplane. So let's start by extending our right arm into a T-shaped position. Our left hand will come just under the left shoulder. Press into that left hand and we'll slowly start to roll our body open to the left. Now your legs might stack on top of one another, or one leg might be in front of the other. If you have quite a bit of space here, you may even take your top leg just behind you, placing that foot on the mat. You could take a pillow or a block just under your head if you feel a little bit crammed in the shoulder area. And just allow yourself to come to stillness here. Make sure there's no pinching or pain at all in that right shoulder. Again, feeling this edge, this little bit of discomfort, but a discomfort that you know you can hold. Notice if there's anywhere in your body where you're still holding a little bit of tension. Sometimes it can be in the face, into the jaw. See if you can just let this go and really try to release in this pose. So just a few more breaths left in this pose. Very slowly start to release. Start to roll back to your stomach. Gently take that right arm down by your side. You could start to bend through the knees and take the legs out side to side, just like windshield wipers. So just finding a little bit of a release for the low back. And when you're ready, extend the legs again. And we'll start to move to the other side. So this time we'll be extending our left arm out into that T-shaped position, taking our right hand under our right shoulder, pressing into that right hand and slowly rolling open to the right side. Again, you could stack your legs, place one in front of the other, or that top leg, you can place the foot on the mat just behind you. Again, if you'd like a little more space for that shoulder, you could always place a little pillow or a block on the mat underneath your head. As you start to come to stillness in this pose, again, just starting to release any tension out of the body, finding comfort here. Finding yourself in this moment. Can you find contentment here? Contentment for being exactly where you're at today in this pose. Being okay with what is and what is happening in this moment. Not wishing things were different or wanting things to be a certain way. This state of contentment in yoga we call santosha, and it's the second of the niyamas. And it's really mostly just about self-acceptance, finding acceptance in your own journey and knowing that it's okay to be just where you are in this moment. It is complete acceptance of yourself and of everything right now as it is. Over the next couple moments, start to release from this posture. Again, we'll start to slowly roll back to our belly. Take the arms down by your sides. And again, bend the knees and bring this windshield wiper motion back to the lower legs. And when you start to feel balanced, take the legs back down. From here, we'll slowly make our way to our backs. You could have your pillows nearby. Let's start to take our left knee in towards our chest. Give that knee a good squeeze. And then we'll slowly take that left knee across the body, coming into a twist. Your arms could come to that T shape or a cactus position. And if you'd like a little bit of support under that knee, you're welcome to place a pillow under the knee. You could even put 2 pillows under the knee. Now you could stay right here, or you could start to bend the right knee and grab a hold of your right foot with your left hand. This full pose is called cat pulling on its tail. And again, when you feel comfortable, find stillness here. So with this idea of santosha and contentment, acceptance, How do we bring these into our lives and into our practice? So in our practice, it is really about listening to our body, feeling the sensations, feeling when there's pain, knowing when to back off, for really just honoring yourself and your body. That also means not putting pressure on yourself for the way that you think the pose is supposed to look. Yoga is a practice. That's why we call this a practice. It doesn't mean you need to be there tomorrow. This is a lifelong practice. And everybody's journey is different. This practice will look different for every person. So again, finding this acceptance, not comparing, being content. And now let's slowly start to move out of this pose. Rolling towards your back. Take your time. When you're ready, place both feet on the mat with your knees bent. And let's take this windshield wiper motion with our knees again. Moving the knees side to side. Taking as long as you need. And when you're ready, extend the legs back out. And we'll start to move to the other side. This time, let's take our right knee in towards our chest. Give that knee a squeeze. And then let's take the knee out to the left. Again, you can extend the arms in that T-shaped position or maybe that cactus position. Maybe place a pillow under that knee. Your gaze this time would come over the right shoulder. And if you feel like going a little further, you could start to bend that left leg and grab a hold of that left foot with your right hand. And again, when you feel ready, allow the body to rest here. Checking in, again, making sure there's no pain. So how do we find santosha and this acceptance when we're actually off the mat in our regular day-to-day lives? So it's really about finding appreciation, finding gratitude, being thankful for everything that you do have. And it's also finding curiosity over judgment. Let's find another few breaths here in this pose. If you wanted to take this pose a little deeper, feel free to do so. And then let's start to very slowly start to move out of this pose. Eventually returning to our back with our knees bent. And again, let's take this windshield wiper motion, bringing the knees from side to side. And when you feel ready, let's take the knees into the chest, give yourself a hug. And you can release the legs. We'll take one final pose before our Shavasana. So let's grab our pillows. I'm going to use 2 pillows. So we'll stack those and come to a seated position. We'll place the pillows just a few inches away from us and have your blocks handy. And we'll start to lower ourselves all the way down onto the pillows. So this will help create a little bit of a chest opener. And we can add a butterfly posture to this. So we'll take our knees out to the sides, feet are together. And if you like, you can always place a block under each knee or a pillow. That sometimes adds a little more support for our hips. And when you find yourself in a comfortable spot, feeling nice and supported from all your props, you can start to add stillness. The law of positivism. Santosha is all about being present, being grateful, and content with all that is in life. It is the opposite of feeling that you constantly need to gain or become more than what the present moment is, and it creates a greater sense of gratification. When we let go of the constant need to become, we can more easily just be. Let's take another minute in this pose. Now starting to move very slowly, let's start to take our hands to the outside of our knees, bringing the legs back together. You could move the blocks out of the way. And again, take this windshield wiper motion with the legs, bringing the feet about mat width apart. You could start to roll off the pillows to one side. Take those pillows out of the way. And we'll eventually find ourselves in Shavasana. So really take some time to rest here. Allow the body to recover. Let's slowly start to wake up the body, taking a little bit of movement to the wrists, to the ankles, taking a big stretch. Hug the knees in towards your chest, and you can roll to one side. And eventually we'll find ourselves in a seated position. Thank you guys. Namaste.